Good evening and welcome to Propel Talk Show. I am your host, Tammera Holmes, the founder and CEO of the Aerostar Avion Institute. Our goal is to promote aviation and aerospace education for youth all around Chicago. Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Resilience Partners. We want you to check out Resilience Partners website. If you want to learn more about their products and their services and what they do, you can find them at resiliencepartnersnfp.org. That is resiliencepartnersnfp.org. Shout out to Deidre Bates, the founder. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to host Propel Talk Show on CAN TV. We are live right now, Channel 21, Comcast, AT&T Uverse, WOW, and RCN. Turn to Channel 21, invite your friends. We are also live online, so if you're watching us, feel free to call in. 312-738-1060. Tonight we have with us Miss Charissa Pernell, the founder of the Young Women's Professional League and the 40 Under 40 induction for professional women, young professional women in and around Chicago. Our episode tonight is all about reclaiming our sisters. That's right. So like Auntie Maxine said, reclaiming our time. We're talking about reclaiming our sisters tonight. We actually had another auntie call on the last segment. Had a whole bunch to say about the topic at hand. I want to talk to you a little bit about the organization. The Young Women's Professional League. You can find out information 40 under 40 ywpl.org. You can go check out all the information, newsletters. We do, and I say we because I was inducted into the 40 class of 2017, so I'm so proud. I just made it in before my 40th birthday, and I was too old. But thank you so much, Charissa, for being with us tonight. So
thank you for having me.
This is all about sisterhood and service.
Yes.
Tell us, first of all, who you are.
Okay.
What you do and why you do it.
Okay. So my name is Charissa Pernell. I go by Cheresa LaFrances Pernell, or Reese, affectionately known. And I am the founder of the 40 Under 40, the Young Women's Professional League, and we host an annual 40 Under 40 award ceremony.
That's right.
To induct women into our league. And our mission is to together a network of young professional women who support the holistic development of women and girls through the conduits of leadership development, service, philanthropy, and sisterhood.
Aww.
Yeah, so that is a little bit of what we do. And my why I do it. So you may have to kick me under the table a bit
But we started a new segment, so we got a fresh clock.
Okay, good. So a little bit of my why. I come from the nonprofit background. I come from the nonprofit sector, of course, and one of the things that my mentor, Sharita V. Morrison, the founder of Demoiselle to Femme, that is where back in 1994, where I got my start really as just a mentee of hers. Back in 1994, got hired at 21 to start working for the organization, and through my journey there, as she decided that it was time for her to transition out, and our tagline, Demoiselle to Femme, is French for young ladies to women, right? And so, yes. And so, when we begin to talk about, where the women, how do we engage the millennial women now, and she was pretty much like, I'm aging out, I'm ready to move on to my next adventure, whatever that looks like. So who's going to be the next new generation of leadership that's really has a heart to serve our girls? Yeah. And, so it really became a charge to me to really say, okay, so how do I galvanize young millennial women around this whole concept of serving? Because now, I have a thing where I say all the time that they're successful women. The black women are extremely successful. We're leading numbers as far as being entrepreneurs.
Listen to this.
Yes, come on with the
300% growth in African American female-owned businesses in the last 10 years. I was just
going to go there. Yep.
300% growth. Yes. If you're African American female and you haven't started your own company, it's a pretty good time to get
It's a
started. We are
great
live
time.
right now, 312-738-1060. If you can hear us, give us a call right now with your questions or comments about sisterhood, being a young woman and a professional. 312-738-1060. Call in now.
Yes. So, yeah, so I was pretty much fired up about how to do that, and like you gave those stats. So, you know, we see a lot of black women who are successful, right? And whether we're degreed, buying houses, starting business, driving nice cars. And so I have this thing, there's a difference between successful women and women leaders.
That is true.
Right? You can be a successful woman
And not be a leader.
And not necessarily
That
be
is
a leader.
absolutely true.
And so my goal was, how do we, and I tell people all the time, is I know we have a lot of successful black people, but I love to challenge, do we have enough leaders? Because if we did with our communities and our schools look the way they do,
That's
if we
true.
had more leaders and not just successful black people.
Yeah.
you
So
know.
tell us a little bit about what that leadership development looks like in the league. Not just on the day-to-day. I know we do different service events and philanthropy, but the professional development is kind of where I have kind of found my sweet spot within the organization. But
Yes.
kind of share what the mission is and what the goal is in day-to-day operational terms. So how are you making sure that we are creating new leaders for the next generation?
Well, a few things. Some of the things that we do, and we talk a little bit about some of the things that we offer, day to day. So we have things like our quarterly gym talks.
Yeah.
We do those quarterly.
So what is a gym talk for the audience?
For the audience, okay. So our gyms are women who are over 40.
And that's GEM, like a jewel, like
yes,
a
like
gym.
a jewel, like a gym.
I just became a gym, y'all.
Yes.
I'm 40.
Yes, she did. Yes. I like to say great examples modeling success.
Oh, okay.
I love acronyms, you all, so forgive me. I always come up with something, right? So I call them great examples modeling success, right? Those are our gyms. So those are women who are over 40 who come in to do professional development with us every quarter on a different topic. Topics can range from financial health, being financial astute, to mental health and wellness, business development, whatever that looks like. And so what we do is, this is private. This is only for league members, where we bring in seasoned professionals to come in to have that one-on-one time with us. And we usually go about 2 hours or so in some type of professional hands-on development with just the league.
Okay.
And so that's, I've always been taught that you learn three ways, right?
Yep.
So you learn being taught, those who you're learning with, and then those who you're teaching. And so that's kind of how I've set up the league.
I like that. It's a three-tiered approach.
It's three-tiered approach to learning. Absolutely.
Because they say the best way to learn something is to teach somebody else how to do it.
Absolutely.
We're live with Charissa Pernell, LaFrances Pernell. And you can call us 312-738-1060. I am your host, Tammera Holmes. This is Propel Talk Show, all about moving community forward. And tonight our topic is sisterhood and service. So how did you come up with the idea of, first of all, you said that you were a mentee, so that probably played a big role
absolutely.
in you deciding to kind of carry this on for the next generation.
Absolutely.
How is it for you looking at the young faces coming through and kind of seeing yourself in them?
Yes.
Is that scary or not?
You know what? Not really. You know what? I love it. One thing that I've really become present to is, working for being a product of Demoiselles Affirm, and then working for them, and then now being able to transition into stepping into my own space with the league is, it says, like I said, it says from transitioning girls, our tagline is transitioning girls to successful women. So my thing is, what do we do with them now that they're successful women? What happens?
Because we still need help.
Absolutely, right? And so I'm getting very present to, that is my role. My role was to be able to step in and say, okay, now that we're successful women, how do I galvanize these women now and connect and build a sisterhood that then can be impactful in serving the next generation. And so it's been a joy. I've worked with some of the schools where people probably wish I, girls, a lot of times you see girls programs, you see like the cutes, but I've been in Finger Baby, I've been in Simeon, I've been in, I've had the 3.8 student, I've had the 1.8
That's
student.
right.
So I've worked with them all. So being in a space now to have to work with, women, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
What is the most rewarding part of the work that you're doing? The league is 2 years old, 3 years old?
3 years old.
3 years old.
Yes.
So you have a toddler now.
Yes.
Just got out of messy diapers, hopefully.
Yes.
Potty trained, and you can finally give them the spoon.
Absolutely.
And hopefully they don't make too big of a mess.
Right.
So what's next to transition the league from the toddler stage to actually becoming a really sound nonprofit organization?
So we have a few things in the works. A few of it I'm not going to talk about just yet because it's a surprise.
Did you see my face?
Yeah, I know you like.
I'm like, oh, we got the juice. No, we don't have the juice. All right.
I will say this. I was just telling a friend of mine, I'm working to build one of the most powerful, influential young women's organizations in Chicago. That is my goal. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I will say is that we are gearing up to be definitely more impactful. Starting off, we've been a subsidiary under D2F, and now we're kind of branching out, which will allow us now to be more impactful with different organizations, even being able to possibly offer some small grants and donations to other. So we're on the move. It's a lot to look forward to. You mentioned about you transitioning into being a gym. I have so many women come up to me like, you need to start. I'm over 40.
Over 40 league.
Yeah, the over 40, and so we're working. We have some things in the work to be able to gauge women over 40. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. So yeah, stay tuned. We're actually getting ready to go through nominations for our 4th class, which means
that's big news. So the organization is going through the nomination process.
Yes.
And even if the nomination process is already too far along this year, which we believe it is, still go to the website, find out more about the organization. Young Women's Professional League is 40 under 40. That's the 40 under 40 ywpl.org. That's 40 under 40 ywpl.org. Go to the website, check it out, come to the events. If you find yourself being interested, if you're in the 25 to 39 year old age range, and you're looking to become engaged, you become successful, you just need a sisterhood, you need to serve, you want to give back, you're looking for kind of like a community home outside of corporate. I know in college we have the sororities, we got all of these other ways to build community and sisterhood. But when you become a professional, it's like dog eat dog. Well, in ours, it's cat eat cat world. And it's like feline against feline. And you're like, this is not what I signed up for.
Absolutely.
Because you really want a sister in the workplace. You want somebody that can have your back. You want to take those long lunches. You want to be able to have those conversations and at least cry with somebody in your office every now and again. And so what does the league offer in the sense of building community, sisterhood, and camaraderie?
Right. So that, honestly, to be honest with you, that is probably the part that everyone loves the most.
I know I did.
The league is that we have this organic sisterhood. And the one thing that I always tell people, when people say, oh, black women can't work together or women don't work together, lies, all lies, and I tell people, I have this saying that I was taught, the spirit of the leader overtakes the people, right?
That is good. And I should be taking notes. You have been dropping nuggets.
The spirit of the leader overtakes the people. And so I believe that if the leader is a person who really believes in compassion and grace and sisterhood, that's going to be the spirit of the group. And one thing I've heard so many women say is, man, you know, I love coming into group. It's been a sister. I mean, from being a part of the group, so many women have partnered on business ventures.
Yes.
They've partnered on, you know, events. They, you know, they've had organic friendships, had prayer partners from anything you can think of, and they love it. You know,
we have a caller right now. Hi, caller, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Tammera.
Hi, who is this?
And this is Tia Brown from the Brown House Experience.
Hi, how are you? Are you enjoying the show?
Yes, I was checking you out and telling you all that you all are doing a wonderful job.
Thank
with
you.
everything you're doing in the community for the kids, adults, everybody.
Thank you so much, and same to you. The Brown House Experience is definitely changing the game for young girls in Chicago. So thank you for building sisterhood and service with the baby girls.
Yes, and you're paving the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
awesome.
No problem. You all have a good evening now. Keep watching.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We are live right now, 312-738-1060, talking about sisterhood and service with Cheresa LaFrances Pernell, founder of the 40 Under 40, the Young Women's Professional League, and the 40 Under 40 induction in Chicago.
Yes.
Man, it's so great to have you here, and I think it's so important for us to, like you say, even though we found success, we may not have found leadership, but a lot of times when you find success, you lose sisterhood.
Absolutely.
And I know what happened for me is my sister circle is incredibly strong, but that's because I had to make an effort to keep my sister circle incredibly strong, because there was no sister circle for me in the workplace. I'm in aviation, so it's a over 90% white male dominated industry. I was alone for 15 years at work.
Wow.
So when you get up and you go out into the world, you know, people think because you're successful that everything is okay, but when you're the only one and you're fighting the kind of battles that Serena Williams is fighting out on the court in front of the world, you know, alone in your office, in your corporation, that's a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
And you want to be able to have a safe space where you can go and call your sisters and meet up, you know, and say, you know what, this is what happened to me at work. And what I found is that our stories were so similar.
Yes.
Our stories were so similar in a way that, you know, the expectation of us to just sit back and be quiet. And, you know, when the book Lean In came out, I was like, I could have wrote this 10 years ago. You know, it's so important for women to not only find that sisterhood, but you said something really important when you talked about Serena Williams in the first segment, and that is not only holding each other accountable, but having an advocate.
Yes.
How important would it have been for her to have somebody like another umpire or one of the judges come out and say, you know what? You've been a little too strong.
Right.
We've been in this game. We got a lot of experience. We know that there are other players, especially guys, who she was out there all alone. Nobody came to her defense and said, you know what, she made a really valid point, and I think the charges are a little too aggressive. Now, Carla, I'm a fan, so full disclosure, I might be a little biased, but I think I'm a very reasonable person. What I saw her doing out there on the field and what I see us doing on the court and what I see us doing in the workplace looks exactly the same.
Right.
When we lose it at work, it's because we done had it up to here with how people talking to us, how other people get promoted and we don't get promoted, how other people can take vacation and go take cigarette breaks for 45 minutes when I only get a 15-minute, you know, lunch. Like, we see all of that.
Right.
But we expected not to say anything while everybody else get treated differently. And it's just not fair. So when we lose it, it might be inappropriate for the workplace, but at the end of the day, it's going to happen sooner or later if these wrongs aren't corrected.
Right.
The partnerships and the camaraderie that's built within the league. You talked about being able to do business ventures and create new avenues for success and cross-promote with one another. How have you looked at that, kind of sitting back and watching the baby that you had, you know, kind of make friends at school? Like, you know, because, you know, we both have kids, so I relate everything back to, like, being a mom, you know, when you see your kid when you first have your child, everything that they learn and know comes from you. But then when you send them off to school, then they start coming home with stuff that you didn't teach them. But they starting to find their way and work this thing out. So how was that, sitting back and watching from a visionary standpoint?
Well, one thing I will say, if I can kind of go back to what you were speaking of, as far as the Serena situation, and I said in the last segment, and I'm gonna say it again in this one. I think one of the biggest things is, as a leader, knowing the difference between judgment and accountability.
That's right.
Right? I believe judgment, when it comes to judgment, shame and guilt and punishment are all attached to judgment.
And that happens at work too, right?
Absolutely, right? And a lot of times people they hold on, they don't express how they feel because they don't want to be judged, they don't want to be shamed, they don't want to be guilted, or they don't want to be punished for feeling a certain way. So then by the time they finally have had enough, they explode, right?
Yeah.
Which is why it's so important to have authentic, safe spaces where you can just be transparent and be yourself and really be able to speak to how you feel authentically with no judgment. Right, wrong, and indifferent. I have a coach who say, just go ahead and say you don't like her. To me, and it's like, it's okay, it's just me and you right here. Like, it's okay. And you may not be able to, I may not be able to do that on Facebook publicly, but I have to have spaces where I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't like this situation. I don't like how that happened. I don't care for, and that's why it's so important when no one's saying like, well, you need to,
And with women, they always say this thing like, oh, it's a personality conflict. I've never heard that said about men. Have you ever heard that said about men?
Not at all. Not at all.
It's not a personality conflict. Either we agree or we disagree, and we haven't found a way to compromise and come to an agreement. It's either pride or arrogance, but it don't have to be. What is a personality conflict?
Exactly.
I've never heard that men described like that. We got about 4 minutes left in the show. We are live, 312-738-1060. You can call in now with your questions or comment about sisterhood and service. 312-738-1060. Thanks to both of our callers tonight. If there's any more questions or comments out there, every time we walk off the set, we always get a call coming in at the last minute. Pick up the phone now. Call us now, 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060. Man. So what's coming up? Affirm Her Greatness.
Yes. So we have an event coming up. September 29th. It's called Affirm Her Greatness. So women's convocation, and Tammera's actually one of our session leaders. Yes, she's one of our session leaders. And this is the way we're going to end our year before our award ceremony in November. And this is all about supporting women, creating that space I just talked about. That space where you can come, be transparent, have authentic interaction for women of faith, where we're going to really build you spiritually. So this is all for women of faith to affirm their God-ordained call. And for us to really be able to speak into your greatness, but come from, a spiritual, a faith perspective on it. And so we're excited.
And as professionals, we really don't get a chance to bring our faith, into the workplace or into, openly into the work that we do. So this is a great way for women who are professionals to learn how to practice their faith, to walk authentically in what they believe in, the principles that guide them on a day-to-day basis. And it's really important for us to make sure that we, like you said, not just having a safe place to vent and to release, but balance. Right? Because sometimes we just need a safe space to chill, just to do nothing, to hang out, meet up after work. I got a text from one of my sisters in the 40s saying, I'm trying to go to the beach on Friday. You up? So, sometimes we just want to relax. Sum up in one sentence what you want to see the league be great at in the next 5 years.
Wow, one sentence?
That's it. That's all you got.
I want to see the league be great at using their gifts, their time, talent, and treasures to impact young girls and women leaders.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
How can they reach you?
So you can reach us if you want more information about the league. You can go to 40under40ywpl.org. If you want to reach me personally, you can go to CherisaLaFrances.com. That's ReeseLaFrances.com. ReeseLaFrances.com. And you can find me on social media at Charissa LaFrances or the league at 40under40ywpl.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. This has been the Charissa LaFrances Pernell, the founder of the Young Women's Professional League here in Chicago. I am your host. You've been watching Propel Talk Show on CAN TV, Channel 21 in Chicago. Tammera Holmes, founder of the Eurostar Avion Institute. Thank you so much in helping us move community forward. Have a good night.
Good night.